My name is Elizabeth Alsop. I'm Acting Director of Educational Opportunity here at Canberra Grammar School, and it is my privilege to welcome you here today for the 2024 International Final of the Kids Lit Quiz. Today is a culmination of years of reading, months of competition, and for some, days of travel to get to this place. Here at the end of your journey, I would like to acknowledge the Ngunnawal people who have walked this land for centuries. We acknowledge their living culture and pay tribute to the unique role they play in the life of the region as traditional owners and custodians of the land on which we meet. I would also like to pay respects to the elders past and present and to extend that respect to other First Nations people here today. We all know the value of reading and learning and in life and the importance of creating a culture of reading in our schools and communities. This is what Wayne Still and his team continues to build and celebrate with this wonderful competition, and why we are so happy to host it here at Canberra Grammar School today. Welcome to our competitors here in the front row, who are the embodiment of the best of this reading culture, combining their knowledge of books with a fierce competitive spirit. We wish you all luck today. Welcome also to friends and family who are here in person or for those who are going to be watching online. No doubt proud and nervous for your teams. Thank you for your role in fostering this reading culture through sharing and reading books together, talking about great and not so great books that you have read, and the countless hours you've no doubt spent in libraries and in bookshops. Today is only possible because of your work building a love of reading. So on behalf of Canberra Grammar School, welcome and enjoy today, not only as a competition, but also as a celebration of all the wonderful books you have read and some that you are still to read. I would now like to hand over to Nicole Deans, the National Coordinator of Kids Lit Quiz Australia.
Thank you so much, Elizabeth, and thank you all for being here. Welcome to Kids Lit Quiz 2024 World Final. We're so excited to be here. It's been a lot of work. Sorry. But we're so excited, and we couldn't have done it without the support of our sponsors. So an enormous thanks to Canberra Grammar School for hosting us and supporting us. We've got Fujifilm, who've done all our printing and been absolutely amazing. So thank you so much for that. The Book Cow, who've been a magnificent sponsor in all kinds of ways. So thank you so much. We really, really appreciate everything you've done for us. We have other sponsors that are in our program that weren't able to be here today as well, including Softlink, who provide our beautiful trophies, which are quite stunning, here on the table for our winning team today. And I've forgotten the rest of my list, but and lots of sponsors that have donated books to our heats as well as to our final. And we've had a raffle that helped raise money to make the final happen. A special warm welcome and thanks to all our international teams and their families who've travelled, as Elizabeth said, far and wide to be here. These are the creme de la creme. These are the kids that have been the winners of their national heats of Kids Lit Quiz and then their own national final. So today is a culmination of all of that, and for some of them, in fact, there's a couple here that have been doing it since they were 10 and they're about to age out. So they've not just been doing it for 1 year, they might have been doing it for 4 years, and so it's been a big part of their lives. An enormous thanks to our coaches who trained the kids to be here, but have also come to supervise them for the week. So that's been amazing. Would you like me to do the rules first? Okay. So I'm going to go through the rules for today. Once I have done that, I will introduce our teams and Wayne will get started. So the format today is there will be 10 categories with 7 questions in each category. The categories are unknown to the contestants. I don't know them either. All questions are answered by buzzer on the table there. The questions are longer, structured, and more difficult than those encountered in the heats. Often they may begin obscurely, but do move to the obvious. All teams will begin with 10 points. Answers may be given at any time, but once the buzzer is pressed, the answer must be given within 5 seconds. The person who presses the buzzer need not be the one who answers the question. If you accidentally push the buzzer and the question has commenced, then you will be expected to give an answer. Be careful not to bang or knock the table, because this can cause the buzzer to activate. The buzzer system does not have a memory, so if an incorrect answer is given, teams will need to re-buzz. But wait until Wayne states whether the answer is correct or incorrect. So Wayne will say, if it's incorrect, I will then need to reset the buzzer for you. You'll know that it's ready to buzz again. It will turn orange, okay? Except if you've answered incorrectly, then your buzzer will stay red. A correct answer scores 2 points, but an incorrect answer loses 1 point. If you do give an incorrect answer, your team cannot come back in and answer that question for a second time. You can only have one go at each question. Your first answer stands. If you correct yourself, your corrected answer will not count, even if it was correct. So the first answer you give is the answer that will be taken. When answering, accuracy is required. However, if the title was The Girl Who Circumnavigated the Fairyland in a Ship of Her Own Making by Catherine Valentine, then the adjudicator and the quizmaster have agreed upon key words that would indicate an answer for the title, that an answer for the title was known. Our adjudicator today is Julie Long. Julie is a president of the ACT branch of the CBCA. She's a director on the national board of the CBCA. She was awarded an OAM in 1999 for services to the youth of Canberra through CBCA and Scouting. So highly qualified to be our adjudicator today. So thank you so much, Julie, for doing that. In the event of any tied scores, positions at the end will be decided by a sudden death playoff. If 2 teams tie for first place, the winner will be decided by the best of 3 questions. And that happened in 2023, didn't it, Wayne? If 3 teams tied for first place, then it will be the first team to correctly answer 2 questions. Cell phones are off, please, including, and the students have already removed any iWatches and Fitbits. Today's World Final will be streamed live. At the end of the presentation, myself and Dan Donchik, coordinator from USA, will be presenting the prizes. We'll do fourth to 7th initially, and then 3rd, 2nd, and finally 1st. All right, now all of that's over. We would like to introduce our teams. So, in alphabetical order, which we have been doing all week, can I introduce Team Australia? So, Avi, Benjamin, Elliot, and Venuti, would you like to come and sit? Next, we have Team Canada. Annabelle, Kaida, Lara, and Taya. And next, we have Team Indonesia, Anthony, Brandon, Ellie, and Raina. And a big welcome to Team New Zealand. They, Bea, Emily, Heather, and Kohai. And from South Africa, Welcome, Benjamin, Daniel, Joseph and Sahil. And from Thailand, welcome to DJ, Casey, Nadine and Yukta. And from all the way, the USA, last but by no means least, I'd like to welcome Adelaide, Anna, Maddie and Roxy. Good luck to you all. You're all winners. And this is so exciting. Enjoy, everybody.
Asia, and one team is here for the very first time, that is Team Canada. So let's give them a welcome. Well done. The first category is authors. Number one. Over the last 4 decades, this author has written more than 75 books and sold more than 35 million copies worldwide. He currently lives in New York. He's contributed several titles to the 39 Clues series about Amy and Dan Cahill. One of his most popular literary characters has been Griffin Bing, who's featured in books like Swindle, Sue Break, Framed. Thank you. Yeah, that's good.
Gordon Corman?
Gordon Corman is correct. Score 2 points. Yeah, that will work better, Nicole, because I'm looking down here and you're looking there. Number 2, this author stumbled into literature as he is actually a building architect. He lived in New York and was working on a children's picture book about cities as he had received a Ford Foundation grant to write such a book. But this wasn't the book he wanted to write. So to pass his time, he scribbled notes about a bored boy who couldn't see the point in solving.
Norton Juster.
Oh, amazing. Phantom Toll Booth, Norton Juster, well done. Number 3, this American author has written more than 50 books. As a child, she enjoyed reading about King Arthur, Robin Hood, and Sherlock Holmes. After school, she attended the Gettysburg College in Pennsylvania. She's won the Edgar Allan Poe Award for Crime, Mystery and Detection 3 times, in 1995, 1996 and 2010. Her first book, published in 1979, was titled White Hart, a pre-Roman fantasy about a young couple. Her series, Rowan Hood, was about an outlaw girl living in Sherwood Forest, and that came out in 2001. But her most popular series that you will all have heard of began in 2006 with The Case of the Missing Marquess, which was the story of Enola's missing mother, and the Enola Holmes series which has been adapted Indonesia?
Nancy Springer.
Nancy Springer is correct. Well done. It's such a popular series around the world at the moment, that Nancy Springer series about Enola Holmes. Number 4. This author was born in April in 1926 in Alabama. She attended Huntington College, private school for women, before she transferred to the University of Alabama. In 1947, she enrolled in the university's law school and later spending a year as an exchange student at Oxford University. She withdrew from university 6 months before she would have received her law degree in order to take up a writing career. She worked on several short stories, but none of them were published. She then received financial support from friends to expand a short story about an incident that had happened that she knew about in the 1930s. This novel centered on a white lawyer who defended a black man falsely accused. Indonesia.
Harper Lee.
Harper Lee is correct. Number 5. This American author has won the Coretta Scott King Award for African American authors 5 times. She was the National Teacher of the Year in 1997, and she's been a New York Times best-selling author. She's written more than a dozen books for middle graders, as well as poems, articles, short stories, and has been honoured at the White House 6 times.
Jacqueline Wilson.
Not Jacqueline Wilson, -1. Her book, Copper Sun, was named one of the best books of all times by Time magazine, and it appears in international reading projects in the US, Canada, and Ghana. Other popular books that she's written include Out of My Mind in 2000.
Sharon M. Draper.
Sharon Draper is correct. Score at 2 points. Number 6. This Australian author specialises in children's and YA fantasy novels. He recently co-authored book 3 in the Spirit Animal series. He's currently 60 years old. His birthday is the 19th of July, and he'll turn 61 next week. His last name is slightly unusual, and he's often been asked by kids, "Is this your real name?"
Garth Nix.
You're acing this, Indonesia. Well done. Woo! My goodness. Right. Number 7. This author was born in Japan, but moved to the United States when he was 4 years old. He started drawing at 5 and continued drawing all through the middle grade, being influenced by the likes of Garfield and the Mad magazine. He graduated from the University of California, Santa Barbara, with a degree in film studies. After university, he worked for Shadebox Animations, but left after 2 years to work on his graphic novels. In 2012, he was asked to draw the new Harry Potter covers for the series' 15th anniversary. His early graphic novel series were Flight in 2004, Amulet in 2008, and explorer
Kazu Kibushi.
Kazu Kibushi is correct. Well done. Kids, you can have a break. We'll get Russell to give us a look at the scoreboard. And a round of applause to Indonesia, leading on 18. Canada on 14 and South Africa on 12. That was pretty brilliant with those kids, knowing those authors. There were a big range of authors. Now I'm going to see how good you are. I'm going to give you an author. If you know the answer to this author, any one of those brand new books on the table is yours. You can come down and pick whichever book you like. My eyes are often down, but Janine and Pa, if you can just tell me to stop once you see a hand go up. Don't call out because I'll never see where the voice comes from. If you raise your hand, we've got eyes looking. Okay, this is a 63-year-old Australian author, and he's written adult novels, children's books, non-fiction stories, and short stories. In 1997, he was named an Australian Living Treasure. He was born in Perth, but moved. Tim Winton, come down and well done. Just letting you know, you would have qualified for the Kids Lit Quiz team. Well done. Okay, we can put the next category up. You can see what the next category is. Coming of age novels. There is a literary term for it. Bildungsroman is a German name for it, and it means coming of age. It's sort of where you go from child to adult, from naive to wise, from idealist to realist. It's your formative years. There's lots of novels that fit into this coming of age. Here we go. What is the name, the title of this book? In order to get her father to come back home after leaving the family for another woman, a young girl decided to enter a competition. Her idea was that if she won it and gained publicity, her father would return home. But New Zealand.
Florence Nightingale.
Not Florence Nightingale. But also wanting to win the competition were two other girls, and all three had differing strengths. One of the girls, Louisiana, asked the group to help her break into the very friendly animal centre to rescue her beloved cat, Archie. But on the night they entered the facility, the cat wasn't there, so they rescued a howling dog and escaped in a shopping trolley. However, the trolley, with Louisiana in it, lost control and fell into a deep pond. After her rescue by the main character, Louisiana went on to win the Little Miss Central Florida tire contest. This book was written by Kate D. Camillo. It's got a two-word title. It's a girl's name. The first name of the girl is Raimi. The last name of the girl, Australia.
Rainy Nightingale.
Raimi Nightingale, not Florence Nightingale. Tough luck there, New Zealand, because I think you knew the book, but you just gave me Florence instead of Raimi. Number 2. In this novel, 4 kids confronted life in their own way over the course of a day. One boy was painfully shy and was overshadowed by his boisterous family. The other boy was a bully. One girl...
Hello Universe.
Hello Universe is correct. That book won the Newbery Medal in 2018. Question 3. In this novel, a young boy was appointed a guardian called Silas to care for him after the death of his family. When the boy...
The amulet?
Not the amulet. -1. Indonesia.
The Graveyard Book.
Correct, the Graveyard Book. First book ever to win the Newbery Medal and the Carnegie Medal in the same year on different sides of the Atlantic. Number 4. This was a very important American coming-of-age fantasy novel published in 1968, which today is considered a classic. The protagonist was a dark-skinned boy, aged 12, which was pretty unusual for a kid's book back in that year. The boy saved his village from marauders by calling down a mist which confused them.
The Wizard of Earthsea.
The Wizard of Earthsea, correct, by Ursula Le Guin. Number 5. This novel told how a 7th grader moved from an ordinary school to a fancy prep school. Wow.
Wonder.
No, not Wonder, -1.
New Kid.
No. He moved from an ordinary school to a fancy prep school after his father had landed a well-paid position at the school as a music teacher. Fortunately, she found a group of like-minded friends, as most of the kids at the school were from very privileged backgrounds. Shortly after starting school, a new award was announced, one that would be given to any student who demonstrated overall excellence as expected by the school. The new girl thought she had a chance after she won the science award about moon craters and her soon-to-be demonstrated talent quest item about the stars. However, many little calamities thwarted her preparation, like looking after lost kindergarteners, assisting a kitchen domestic who had spilt food, or showing a janitor how to shut a leaking water valve. It turned out that all these calamities were staged to see if a student or students would ever reach out to help someone else. It was only Piper, the new girl, who had helped every time without expectation of reward. And she ended up winning the school's Excelsior Award. This was written by his son, JJ, and Chris Grabenstein. The book has a one-word title starting with S, 5 letters. Most of you have read books by Grabenstein. He's a very popular author. And this is a good school book. And the second letter is H. 5 letters. We'll pass at that. It is shine. Shine. I don't, as you can understand, I don't write questions not to be answered, so it's unusual that we get right through like that, especially on a Grabenstein book, which is, he's a fairly popular author. Let's go to number 6. This was a coming-of-age novel. It followed the lives of 4 girls, and it detailed their passage from childhood to womanhood during the 19th century.
Little Woman.
Little Woman is correct. I want the name of this book. The girl in this coming-of-age story was inclined to take life pretty seriously, and her friends were always telling her to loosen up. She was worried about what people thought about her ponytail, her unexpected pimples.
Smile.
Smile by Raina Telgemeier. Well done. Okay, we'll have a look at the overall scoreboard. And we can see that Indonesia is holding their lead. Let's give them a round of applause on 20. And amazingly, very tight raft, three teams on 14, Australia, Canada, and South Africa. Let's give them a round of applause. All right, audience, this is your coming-of-age novel, one of the most famous coming-of-age novels for adults. Let's just say, in case you've won a book, wait. We'll find a new person at this stage. So if you've had a win, you can't answer again. But we'll see how it goes. If no one answers and you do know it, we'll give you a chance. Okay, give me the name of this book. This was about a boy attending a prep school in Pennsylvania. He hated phonies, and when he found out that... say it again. Yes, Cash on the Rye. Come down and choose yourself a book. Okay, we can put the next category up while I get the questions out. We will be having a break after round 5. You know, when I started this quiz 33 years ago, if I'd said there's going to be a category in manga, people would have gone, what the hell is that? It is so popular around the world. There are so many new series out, so let's see how we go with manga. In 2021, manga accounted for 75% of all the graphic novel sales in the world. That's how popular manga is. Okay. Number 1. This manga was about one boy's dream. Laughed at and ridiculed. Wait.
One Piece.
Yes! Woo! Well done. Oh, brilliant. One Piece. Now, that's the world's biggest selling manga. There wouldn't be a kid in the world that didn't know that series. Right, okay, so One Piece. I actually noticed in the Canberra Grammar School library they had volume 1 to 50, I think. You know, it was amazing. It's quite a surprise walking around the library the other night, knowing a lot of the book titles that I'm asking are held in that library. Right, okay, number 2. This manga began in serialized form in 1999 and is one of the top 5 manga in the world. It sold 235 million copies, beyond comprehension. The story started 12 years earlier when a 9-tailed fox spirit... Right. Naruto is correct. Number 3. This manga began by having the world's greatest martial arts hero visit Time's up. -1. When the martial arts hero was visited unexpectedly by a ruthless being from outer space.
Dragon Ball Z.
Dragon Ball Z is correct. This was a manga series where secrets were not revealed to others. In book 1, after a political assassination,
Mark's family.
Spy Family is correct. Number 5, this manga began life online, but quickly went viral with over 10 million hits in the year 2015. The superhero had trained himself for fun, but because he...
One Punch Man.
One Punch Man, yeah, great series. Love that series. Well done. Yeah. Number 6. This character gave his name to the title of the manga. The character was created by the so-called god of manga, Osamu Tezuka. The character was an advanced android with a computer brain. What made this character different was that instead of fighting for justice, he fought for peace.
Astro Boy.
Astro Boy is correct. Number 7. This manga is targeted at the teenage female market. It sold over 35 million copies. It's centered around a 14-year-old girl with blonde hair and blue eyes who was a chosen guardian and a champion.
Sailor Moon.
Sailor Moon is correct. Woo! Okay, we'll get Russell to give us an update on the scoreboard. I think it's probably changed a bit. Oh no, Indonesia is hanging on by 2 points. Let's give them a round of applause. Well done. Australia has jumped into second place, 20 points. And South Africa on 17. Thanks, Russell. Audience, this was a survivor's story told as a graphic novel initially, and it was serialized from 1980 to 1999. The author was Art Spiegelman, and he, yes, over to here. Mouse, come and choose any book you like. Okay, we're going to have a look at the next category, round 4. Very popular category everywhere in the world. Give me the name of this creature. This creature has many names, as many names as there are tribes of people. In some stories, the creature is female. In other stories, the creature is male. The creature was the creator and the preserver of life and came down from the sky. When it was treated with respect, it slept, but when it was angered, it sent thunderstorms and floods. The way to make it happy was to sing and to sway. It liked the boom of a didgeridoo, as it had no...
The rainbow serpent.
The rainbow serpent is correct. Number 2, what country tells this tale of mythology? So it's the name of the country. It's the myth of the white hare, H-A-R-E, white hare. It's a tale about benevolence. A white hare tricked the sharks to lie end to end, which he then used as a land bridge between the islands. Realizing that they had been deceived, and just as he hopped off, the shark ripped off the hare's fur skin. It just so happened that some brothers were passing on their way to woo the princess. The mean brother advised the hare to bathe in the sea, which was extremely painful because the sea had salt in it. But the kind brother said to the hare to wash in fresh water. For his kindness, the white hare helped the brother to win Princess Yakami's hand in marriage. This novel is set in an Asian country, and it's a story of the white Indonesia.
Japanese.
It's the Japanese tale of mythology. Number 3, this being, I want you to tell me what being I'm talking about, was so dazzling that mortals mistook him for a fire god. His mother, Vinata, quarrelled with the mother of serpents, so her serpent children kidnapped her.
Agni. Agni.
Adjudicator, no, incorrect. So her serpent children kidnapped her and imprisoned her in the underworld. The snake's price...
Persephone.
No, -1. The snake's price for her release was a cup of immortality, but the cup was kept on a mountain peak surrounded by towers of flame, as well as a five-wheel spoke with knives. This being sucked up all the rivers of the world and dumped them on the flames. He then shrunk to the size of an ant and was thus able to fly unharmed between the knives. He grabbed the cup of immortality and freed his mother. A few drops of Amrita, the immortality fluid, spilled on the ground, and the serpents greedily divided their tongues to lick up as much as possible. No god dared challenge him, and so he was given place of honour as Vishnu's charioteer, and can be seen today on the island of Bali. It is Indonesia's largest statue of this being. The being starts with the letter G. Indonesia?
Garuda.
Say that again.
Garuda.
Garuda is correct. Number 4, give me the name of this Greek young man's name. He was the son of Tros, from whose name Troy is derived, and a river goddess. As Zeus abducted him as he tended his sheep on Mount...
Paris.
Not Paris, -1. Zeus abducted him as he tended his sheep on Mount Ida in Phrygia, disguised as an eagle, as Zeus took him back to Mount
Ganymede.
Ganymede, yes. We're reading about Ganymede in the Science Centre yesterday. It's the 9th largest object in our solar system. Right, number 5, this king. This king sacrificed his daughter Iphigenia on the altar to Artemis when his fleet of ships.
Agamemnon.
Agamemnon's correct. The gods were very angry for the king sacrificing his daughter, of course, and there was lots of punishments. Number 6, love this character. You'll find out why, as you hear me say it, why I admire this one. This man had gained tremendous knowledge from his father's library, which only he knew how to read. He invented every intellectual skill which required organisation. He invented astronomy, fine art, geometry, law, magic, medicine, music, and especially
Thoth.
Thoth is correct. Thoth. You see him as an ibis-headed scribe in Egyptian mythology, Thoth. Now, number 7, this woman has no particular name, but she is associated with a plant. And so I want you to give me the name of the plant. So she's got no particular name, but she's associated with a plant. The myth is associated with the southeast United States and Mexico. She lived with mortals before people knew anything about farming. She appeared like any other person, and she served delicious meals using this plant. The people had no idea what it was that they were eating, so they spied on her and saw that she actually scraped the boils and the sores from her body and prepared them in a pot. The people were disgusted, obviously, but the woman told them to harvest the plant, to husk it, to mill it, and to remove the outer leaves. It is a widely grown, edible grain.
Wheat.
Not wheat.
Corn.
The corn goddess. Well done. 2 points. The corn goddess. So we'll see how you're going. And Indonesia's holding on to their lead. Let's give them a round of applause. 26. Australia on 23. And Canada is now on 17. Well done. Audience, your turn for a bit of mythology. If you haven't already won a prize, give me the name of this woman. She was the daughter of Asclepius, the god of medicine in Greek mythology. She was the goddess of health and universal remedies. She was said to have a potion or a poultice with which she could heal the sick. Her name has been given to us as a concept of a substance which mean... Yes, here we are. Say it again. No. So, yeah, panacea. Meaning today something that will cure all sicknesses is the name has been given to. Got some still lovely, lovely books there. And we're coming up to round 5. And let's have a look at the category. Non-fiction's always very tricky because there's not necessarily non-fiction books transfer across the whole world. The Horrible History series might be an example that has, but there's not a lot of non-fiction books for kids that will appear everywhere in the world. So this category is as much about content knowledge as it is about knowing the title of the book. I will be telling the kids the title of the book, but they have to tell me the content or the subject of the book. So what's the subject of this non-fiction book? It was titled Her Right Foot. And it was written by Dave Eggers, and it gave the origins, the construction details, and it explained how the gift was shipped. Her right foot referred to the fact that the right foot was not planted but lifted. This signified that she was on the go and that new arrivals were welcomed because, after all, she was a new immigrant herself, having come from France to
The Statue of Liberty.
perfect answer, Statue of Liberty. For this one, number 2, give me the name of the city. It's a city's name. You will have heard of the city. It's not a rare name. This city. This heartbreaking and well-researched non-fiction book by Karen Stelson told about the survival of a 6-year-old girl who was playing in a yard making mud pies when her life was turned upside down at 11:01 a.m. on August the 9th, 1945. Her entire family,
Hiroshima.
not Hiroshima, -1. Her entire family, Indonesia.
Nagasaki.
Nagasaki is correct. Number 3, give me the name, or what type of animal is this? What animal am I talking about? This book won the best non-fiction book in the world this year, the Orbis Pictus Award. The title of the book was called Border Crossing, and it was written by Sneed B. Collard III and illustrated by Howard Gray. It told how millions of animals travel through the region between Mexico and the United States. Bison? Is it? No, incorrect. Not bison, South Africa.
Monarch butterflies.
No. There are 2 teams out. It told how millions of animals travel through the region between Mexico and the United States. It's a very biologically diverse region, but the wall between the 2 nations inhibits many animals from crossing, something they've done naturally for hundreds of years. The book used as an example a medium-sized spotted cat that reaches between 40 to 50 centimetres at the shoulders and weighs between 7 to 15 kilos. The cat is native.
Cheetah.
Not cheetah, -1. The cat.
Ocelots.
Oh, unbelievable. Yes, yes. Whew. An ocelot. Well done. I was starting to get worried we were going to run out of animals. Our teams run out of teams before we were going to run out of animals. An ocelot, yes. It's amazing how that wall has disrupted the migration patterns of animals across the continent. Number 4. What the book is called Discovered by Accident. So I want you to tell me what's been discovered by accident. That's the title of the book, Discovered by Accident. What was discovered by accident? The book detailed one of the greatest scientific achievements of the 20th century. Australia.
Penicillin.
Penicillin is correct. Of all the titles last night, as I discussed them with Julie, this is probably the one that we have wondered about the most. So the book came out in 2022. It's got a one-word title. It's 9 letters. So I'm giving you that much clue. One word, 9 letters. You will have heard of the word, but this is what I want you to tell me the title of the book. So this is the title of the book. One word, 9 letters. Over the last few hundred years, humans have had a huge impact on the world around us. And today, there's much less nature around than there used to be. This book looked at the reintroduction of wildlife in an attempt to reverse that trend. Biologists, other agencies and universities bring plants and animals back to the areas where they used to be, but from which they've disappeared, usually because we've overhunted them or we have changed their habitat too much. The book, for instance, looked at the reintroduction of amphibians in Tanzania, beavers being reintroduced into England after 400 years of no beavers, condors flying again in California. Conservationists have brought back oryx back to the Arabian desert, and even wolves, as you'll be well aware, have been reintroduced to Yellowstone National Park. These and many more examples give the ecosystem a chance to become whole again. This process is known as something starting with RE. Re what? Re. No. Okay, starts with RE. The next letter is W. South Africa, look.
Rewind.
Not rewind. -1. It's written by New Zealand.
Rewilding.
Rewilding is correct. Rewilding. It's gaining, well, it's a very popular concept. We probably wouldn't have known what rewilding was 20 years ago, but now we're well aware of rewilding, of bringing back nature to the way it was. Number 6. What secret was revealed in this non-fiction book? It was first published in Canada in 2020. It was written by Katie. Oh, okay, we'll reset. I'll start again. Unfortunately, no one's buzzed. Let's start again. What secret was revealed in this non-fiction book? It was first published in Canada in 2020, and it was written by Katie Hickey, and it was titled Ocean Speaks, How Marie Tharp Revealed the Ocean's Biggest Secret. So it's how this American woman, it was published in non-fiction, but it's about an American woman, quite a famous woman, who revealed the ocean's biggest secret. Throughout history, women have not been treated equally in many ways, and certain jobs were always given to men. When Marie produced her map in 1957, she was told to redo it, woman, that cannot possibly be correct. However, as it turned out, she had mapped the truth, and it couldn't, and she had mapped the truth, and it advanced our knowledge tremendously of earth science. The French explorer Jacques Cousteau even proved it was true when he sent his cameras down into the ocean. Her map,
The Mariana Trench.
not the Mariana Trench. That's a very good guess. USA.
That there's mountains under the ocean.
No, not correct. Her map, Thailand,
Bermuda Triangle.
not the Bermuda Triangle. Her map was displayed in the Library of Congress alongside the Declaration of Independence. She was named one of the greatest cartographers of the 20th century. She proved that the earth had shifted and was still shifting. Her map just can't hear it.
Tectonic
Oh,
plates.
tectonic plates or continental drift. Yes, well done. Brilliant. Very famous map maker. I'm looking for a bird. This bird is the subject of a book in the Science comic series, and the title of the book, written in 2020, is called Genius Birds. It's written by Kyla Vanderklut. The author has had 40 years studying these birds. Now, these birds are amazing because they learn from personal encounters and observations. Thailand,
Parrot.
not parrots, -1. They use their sophisticated brains to remember what they've experienced and to think before they act.
Crows.
Crows is correct. Okay, we'll get Russell to go to the scoreboard. And Indonesia holds on to the lead with 29. Let's give them a round of applause. In second place is Australia, and in third place, tie with Canada and South Africa. Really enjoyed this non-fiction book, audience. If you haven't read it and you like non-fiction, have a look. I want the name of the ship. A ship. The book was written by Daryl Bristow Bovey in 2023. Oh, wow. Whew, so fast, woman. Yeah, it was the Endurance. It was Finding Shackleton's Ship. Endurance. Come and choose a prize, Nikki. Okay, coaches, you're going to have the chance to strategise with the team. I would suggest the kids should go to the toilet, have a break, stretch their legs. Kids, we'll see you back in 20 minutes. Well done. Great start. Which one are you taking? Oh, yeah, it's had good reviews, that book. Okay, folks, very impressive knowledge. One question missed only, which disappointed me, guys, because it's Chris Grafenstein. Shine. Anyway, let's see how we're going. It's a brilliant knowledge displayed. I think the audience, your parents, your grandparents, your coaches, your siblings are all going to be blown away by what you know. Okay, this category is nursery rhymes. And there are 7 questions. Give me the name of this nursery rhyme. This nursery rhyme usually came as a child's warning to an insect, and versions of it are found in many parts of the world. When blown upon, the insect, sometimes affectionately known as God's little cow, would produce wings and take off into the air. To kill such an insect was considered unlucky. The rhyme was a supposed charm to speed the sun across the sky with the house on fire, symbolising the red evening sky. The nursery rhyme was titled Fly Away
Fly away, ladybug.
Ladybug or ladybird, fine. Yes, fly away ladybird or ladybug. This nursery rhyme was first published in 1805 in a book titled Songs for the Nursery. The rhyme told how a child was seated eating an unappetizing mixture of coagulated milk.
Little Miss Muffet.
Little Miss Muffet's correct. I tried to disguise it, coagulated milk, but I couldn't. Right. Number 3. This nursery rhyme, often sung by children, stirred the imagination because a mysterious structure had to be repeatedly rebuilt.
London Bridge is falling down.
London Bridge is well done, London Bridge. Number 4, this nursery rhyme was traditionally said when small children joined hands.
Bring around the rosy.
USA?
Bring around the rosy.
Absolutely right. I like your confidence, USA. All right, Russell, you're okay? Yep. And number 5, this nursery rhyme echoes through a generation of classrooms and is pretty much a nursery rhyme known across the entire world. It's fun and it's memorable, and it was first documented over 100 years ago. The rhyme typically only has one verse. However, a second verse is often added, but with the appendages said in reverse order. Sometimes,
Shoulders, knees, and toes.
yeah, absolutely right. Head, shoulders, knees, and toes, the different appendages. Number 6, this nursery rhyme sounds incomprehensible in the 21st century. That's because the origins of it date back to the 17th century. The words in the rhyme originated from London, where the local people, the Cockneys, had their own rhyming slang, which was difficult for strangers to understand. When times were hard or the locals down on their luck, they'd often pawn their suit or their coat on a Monday and then claim it back before church on Sunday. The word weasel was derived...
Pop goes the weasel.
Absolutely! This nursery rhyme appeared to bribe a young child to go to sleep, or at least offered all kinds of rewards for it to be.
Little baby.
Not Hush Little Baby. You okay with that? Yes, yes, yep. It offered all kinds of rewards for the child to be quiet.
Rockabye Baby.
Not Rockabye Baby, no. -1. Oh, what? Okay, you're happy with their response. Say it again. Hush Little Baby. You're happy with that? Okay. Thank you. That's what I've got an adjudicator for. We'll go back. Ward Australia, 2 points. Okay, we'll have a look at the current situation. Indonesia continues with their lead at 29. Let's give them a round of applause. And then in second place, Australia. And two teams on third, Canada and South Africa. Oh. Okay, score's not correct, so we'll get Russell on the paper copy. We'll have a look. Go back. Thanks, kids. That's why we're transparent. That's why we see everything there. So we'll look at the backup version. Well, we'll do the adult one. Okay, well, audience, while we're waiting, we won't go on to the next category until it is perfect. Audience, in that nursery rhyme, I'm a little teapot. What does the steamed up teapot shout when it gets steamed up? Yellow, yellow. Correct, come down and choose yourself a book. Well, we'll do another audience question then. Yes, so you want me to carry on with the kid audience? Yes, yeah. I didn't think you wanted me to carry on with the kids. Yeah. So, audience question. Let's go back to one that I've asked before here. I have plenty of questions. Let's go back to. Oh, I didn't ask the audience a non-fiction question. So let's that's good. I want a year. Oh, I asked the ship, that's right, I had two. So I've got another one. This one, audience, you can come down and choose yourself a free book. I'm looking for 1 year in history. And this is the title of the book. What year was this date in the 15th century It was titled with the year. And it was something, the year China discovered America. It was written by Gavin Menzies, a former British submarine commander and a historian. It told how China assembled the greatest fleet in the world that the world had ever seen and sailed to the ends of the earth to collect tribute and to unite the world in Confucian harmony. When the fleet, or what was left of it, returned to China in 1423, China was in economic and political turmoil. What was the year? Yes? Not 1415. Not 1416. China was in economic and political chaos. Consequently, most of the logbooks. No. Got to be 14 something. No. Not 1413. Not 1412. In the middle. 1407. Not 1487, no. Okay, I think we'll need to pass on it. I think. The name of the book was 1421. 1421, the year China discovered America. Okay, let's ask another one. Are you ready? Right, okay. Okay, so very, very tight between Indonesia and Australia now, just half, not even a one question. Okay, this category is, we'll put it up on the board for you. All right. Rivers. Never asked this category before. Let's go. This eastward flowing, and it'll tie in with literature, obviously. It sounds like geography, but I'll give you the literature clues. Number one, this eastward flowing river is the 8th longest river in Africa, and it empties into the Indian Ocean. It was named after the leader of an early group of people to settle in the region. One day, a young animal with insatiable curiosity the Limpopo River is correct. That's where the elephant child had a tug of war with a crocodile. Number 2. Chapter 1 in this famous children's novel was titled The Riverbank. It began with the river being described as sleek, sinuous, full-bodied animal, and chasing and chuckling, gripping things with a gurgle and leaving them with a laugh. All was a... New Zealand.
The Wind in the Willows.
The...
Wind in the Willows.
No, that's not the name of the river. The creature who had come to look at the river and trotted alongside it was bewitched and fascinated. As he looked across the river, he noticed a dark hole in the bank opposite, just above the water's edge. And who should pop out other than Ratty, and said, "Hello, Mole." Written by Kenneth Grahame. The book, The Wind in the Willows, the river is the river...
The River Thames.
River Thames. the River Thames. Number 3, this impressive river flows south for 3,730 kilometres. The river and its tributaries have been used for thousands of years as a major means of transportation. One author in particular, with over 4 years' experience on the river,
Nile River.
not the Nile River. One author, Canada,
The Amazon.
not the Amazon. One author in particular, with over 4 years' experience on the river as a riverboat pilot, captured the drama and the tranquility of this mighty, muddy river. The author, of course,
Mississippi.
was the Mississippi. Mark, I was going to give you Huckleberry Finn. Number 4, this river was black and murky, and anyone who swore an oath over this river,
The River Styx.
the river Styx. You could almost have guessed that that river was going to come up at some point. I didn't start. Question 5. In the early 1900s, a young orphan girl and her governess had been sent to stay with relatives who lived near this vast.
The Amazon River.
The Amazon River is correct. It's called Journey to the River Sea. For this one, for number 6, you don't have to give me the name of the river, you have to give me the name of the book where this river occurs. So where did the action take place? This river was known as Forest River, and it flowed darkly and swiftly. Portcullis, above the river, protected the castle from intruders, but it was often left open for a good deal of traffic because traffic went in and out through that water gate. Empty wine barrels were often cast through the trap doors to bob downstairs, to bob downstream.
The Nile.
No, not the Nile. -1. Empty wine barrels were often.
The name of the book is The Hobbit.
Yes, The Hobbit is correct. And number 7, this great, dark, tawny river flowed through lush green meadows, and in the meadows grew thousands of buttercups. Graceful trees and bushes flourished along the riverbanks.
Chocolate waterfall.
Yeah, it's a river you have to give us. So -1. Graceful trees in Indonesia. The Chocolate River and Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. The Chocolate River and Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. All right, audience, if you haven't won a book prize, oh no, well, let's go to our scoreboard. Thanks, Russell. Overall, Indonesia hangs on to their lead by 1 point. Let's give them a round of applause. 31. Australia on 30. And South Africa had jumped up to 26. Right, audience, this river, please give me the name of this river. This river ran between giant hills, and it was mentioned in an 1890 famous poem. It told of a pursuit to recapture a colt, a prize-winning racehorse over there, that gentleman there. The Snowy River, Sir, come and choose a book. Very famous Australian poem. Okay, Russell will move us through to the next one. Okay, here we go on Shakespeare. Give me the name of the play. This play was written around 1606. It told how an aging general, surrounded by scandal, became enchanted by a beautiful woman. Their relationship shocked people in Italy and in Northern Africa. But when the general returned to Rome, he married his friend's sister,
Julius Caesar.
not Julius Caesar. -1. Thailand. No. But when the general returned to,
Mark Antony.
not Mark Antony. But when the general returned to Rome, he married his friend's sister, Octavia. His wife had died a little earlier, but his marriage enraged the woman he'd been formerly involved with. He later returned to Egypt and joined forces with the queen in a naval battle against Octavius at Actium. Believing that the queen had killed herself, he attempted to take his own life, but when he discovered her deception, he went to her and died in her arms. The queen then allowed a poisonous snake to take her life. The play
The Tempest.
No. The play was, it gives two people's names. And it was the other way around. We were wanting Anthony and Cleopatra, but the adjudicator has given a correct answer to that. Anthony and Cleopatra. Give me the name of this woman, please. This woman was born in England in 1556 and died aged 67. Her father was a yeoman farmer and of good social standing. She married when she was pregnant at age 26. Her first USA.
And Shakespeare.
Yeah, we talked about this. She's known by another name. That's incorrect. Her first child was a daughter called Susanna in 1583. 2 years later, she gave birth to twins called Hamlet and Judith. Unfortunately, Hamlet died aged 11 from the bubonic plague. For most of her life, her husband lived in London writing and performing plays. When her husband died, she was left his second best bed in his will. Her first name was Anne. Her last name, not Shakespeare, but starting with H.
Anne Hathaway.
Anne Hathaway. Sorry, USA, I think you definitely knew that, but we talked about that yesterday and we both agreed that we wouldn't accept Shakespeare, it would have to be Hathaway. Right, number 3, give me the name of the city. So just the city. It's visited by thousands of tourists each year. They visit the old Stella...
Venice.
Not Venice. -1. They visit the old Stella del Cappello to see the collection of furniture and clothes used in a famous film directed by Franco Zeffirelli. While at another house, which is privately owned, tourists can gaze at the battlements and the fortifications from medieval times. By the city gates, there's a bronze bust of William Shakespeare. In the monastery, in a dark crypt among the tombstones, lies a sarcophagus known as the Tomb of Juliet. This, Canada.
Verona.
Verona is correct. Number 4. This play was first performed in about the year 1595, and it was about a man wishing to finance his son's sea voyage from Venice to Belmont.
Merchant of Venice.
Correct answer. Well done, Merchant of Venice. Number 5, what name is given to this type of writing? It was derived from an Italian word meaning little song. And a 13th
Sonnet.
sonnet is correct. Question 6. Give me the name of this woman. This popular woman supported the arts, which enabled poetry. Joan of Arc? No.
Joan of Arc.
Which enabled.
Queen Elizabeth I.
Correct. Queen Elizabeth I. Number 7. This construction was built in the year 1599 using recycled timbers, and it became one of the most famous buildings in its whole time.
The Globe Theatre.
The Globe Theatre is correct. So there's been a change. Australia now is in first, Indonesia is in second, and South Africa is in third. Give them a round of applause. Well done. Adults, your question. Apart from Romeo and Juliet set in Verona, what other Shakespearean play is set in Verona? Dan. Two Gentlemen of Verona. Go and choose yourself a book. Well, Dan is the co-coordinator from America. He hasn't heard these questions, didn't know these questions, so I'm more than happy to let him answer that. Right, we'll go to round 9. Titles. Everyone knew that titles was eventually going to be asked. So one more category. We're going in alphabetical order. So next category will follow from the letter T. Okay, folks. Going well for time. 1:45. Give me the name of this novel. It was an introductory novel. So looking for the first. The introductory novel told how two children who crawled through the space in a roof, dropped down into a study,
The magician's nephew.
correct, the magician's nephew. Question 2. This novel was set in an animal shelter. One poor dog had been deliberately abandoned by irresponsible dog sitters while the owners were on sabbatical leave overseas for 6 months. The shelter was also the home to discarded robot dogs. The dogs, of course, all wanted to be adopted, but the main dog thought that he would be unlikely to ever be adopted because he only had 3 legs. Despairingly, when the dog had been in the shelter too long, or any dog that had been in the shelter too long, it went on the list to be euthanized. The 3-legged dog and the robot dog left the shelter to search for the boy who had loved him as a toy. But the boy had grown up and had no more use for a mechanical dog. Robot dog returned to the shelter to continue reading Green Eggs and Ham to a difficult student, a boy, who'd visit with his class. And the 3-legged dog called Chase was reunited with his owners. Written by Catherine Applegate and Jennifer Choldenko, it's a compound word, Canada.
Bob.
Not the one and only Bob.
Homeward Bound.
Not Homeward Bound. Got a 1-word title. It starts with D. It's a compound word. And the first word is called dog. And the next letter starts with T. Okay, it's out in all the bookshops at the moment. It's called Dog Town. Dog. Oh, that's a shame. That's 2. Hope we don't get any more. Number 3. This is a story about friendships, books, and bookworms. An 11-year-old girl lived with her grandparents in a bookshop in London. Shortly after...
The Pages & Co. series?
Accept that? Yes, accepted. Well done, USA. Pages and Co. Number 4. When Mr. Barrington, the class teacher, asked his class to write about something that had happened to them in real life, most of the kids wrote about weird and possible things. But one boy in the class wrote about everyday things that his family had done. It was absolutely boring, but it was perfect for the television company making a television program called School Days. When it was aired on television, the boy's story was so encouraging that all the viewers could relate to the boringness of it. The boy suddenly became an overnight star. His story was set to rap on YouTube, and it went viral, and soon he had his own hashtag. As he became famous, he lost his friends, and Sunshine D'Amato, the coolest girl on the planet, told him how important it was to put friendships and family first and not to ever let fame rule your life. It was written by David Baddiel, and it was titled The Boy Who Got
The Boy Who Got Unexpectedly Famous.
Okay, the adjudicator says no. And it was the boy who got accidentally, one word, you see, Ellen?
Boy who got accidentally famous.
Correct. Oh, tough luck. In 2023, in the BBC Culture Poll, South Africa, it's a book title. Time's up. In the 2023 BBC poll, this standalone book was listed as the number 10 greatest kids book of all time, and it sold more than 17 million copies, number 10 in the world. And this is across, not only in English, across the world in all languages. It was published in 1988, the book. It was made into a movie in 1996, and it was made into a musical in 2010. It was about a child who constantly fought judgmental prejudices, and it taught the reader to be true to themselves. She performed acts of vengeance upon her anti-literary parents and her
Matilda.
correct, Matilda. Number 6, this historical adventure story was set in Hong Kong in 1936. Returning after the death of her grandfather, the granddaughter found that the entire family's dynamics had changed, and she and her best friend ended up involved in a kidnapping. Suspicion fell on the granddaughter as the jade pin used to fasten her hair had been used to murder the maid carrying the baby. The two girls worked through their list of suspects, detailing possible motives and their movements at the time of the murder kidnap. The two women were involved, one whose husband was in debt and needed the Hong Kong $100,000 ransom money, and the other was the granddaughter's mother, as she was angry and slighted by the way her husband focused his attention on his baby son and his new wife. Written by Robin Stevens, this was the 6th book in the Murder Most Unladylike Mystery series, and it was titled, and it was 4 words in the title, A Spoonful
Full of murder.
not a spoonful of murder. And it was titled A Spoonful of, and the last,
A spoonful of poison.
not a spoonful of poison, -1. And it was titled A Spoonful of, and that last word starts with S.
Spoonful of sugar.
A spoonful of sugar is correct. Number 7. This is book 1 that we're talking about, book 1. It was nearly time for the summer holidays, and the school bus was about to pull up alongside Parker Middle School when a large monster crushed the bus like a tin of Pringles. One boy fled to his home, another into the child, and the other to his tree house. Indonesia.
The Last Kids on Earth.
Correct, The Last Kids on Earth. Okay, we'll move to the scoreboard and have a look. I think the score has changed slightly. Indonesia by 1 point. Australia 33. South Africa still in contention with 28. Well done, teams. Adults, here's your name, the title. Australian book. Enjoyed it tremendously. It was an honest memoir, and it was set mainly in Western Australia. It sold 1 million copies. It told how a parentless boy, born in 1894, was forced to work at times for... Oh, great story. A Fortunate Life. Well done. You've got the book prize. A Fortunate Life. We now have one category left, and it's going to go right down to the wire. I can see that. So very quiet audience. Don't mouth the answers. Sort these out. Right. Okay, we can disclose that final category. Wizards. Dead silence. Right, wizards. 14 points up for grabs. Number one, this wizard has been known about for centuries and has probably been the most fleshed out of all the known wizards in literature. Australia.
Merlin.
Merlin is correct. Number two, this wizard had 7 middle names. New Zealand.
Gandalf?
Not Gandalf.
I have a question. Do I have to say the entire name or just the first one?
You can give me the name of the book if you like.
Albus Dumbledore?
Not Albus Dumbledore. No. So he had 7 middle names, but he usually only used a contraction of the first name and his last name, Oscar and Sarasta. During his time in power, he was either known as great and powerful or terrible. Canada. The Wizard of Oz. This wizard had a keen mind and a legendary power. He was never vain, and he'd always look for the best in everyone. His mother had died
Albus Dumbledore.
correct. Scored 2 points. This wizard was a loathsome man. He was driven by his desire for riches and power. He was obsessed with capturing one of his neighbours to Indonesia.
Gargamel.
Gargamel's correct. Wow, that was a surprise for Gargamel. Right. Honestly, didn't think you were going to get that. Gargamel. Number 5. This wizard had been a failed student. He was often chased or driven away from places when he wanted to rest in peace and boredom. He did, however, have the ability to pick up foreign languages fairly quickly. But a highly destructive spell had lodged itself inside his mind and had scared off all the other spells, but even without the spell's influence, he was a pretty incompetent wizard. He was given several titles at the Unseen University, mainly because no one wanted them, and it kept him busy. The titles came without salary, but he was not to voice any opinions. A large sapient chest followed him around, and it had hundreds of little legs which enabled it to move very fast. The only reason this wizard was still alive was because he was a very good long-distance sprinter. This wizard was created by the famous and one and only Sir Terry Pratchett. This wizard's name starts with R. It's a compound word. R-I, R-I-N, R-I-N-C.
Rincewood.
Not Rincewood, -1. It is rinse. The first compound word is rinse, and there's a 4-letter word at the end. Guys, you haven't read Discworld. He is Rincewind. Rincewind. Okay, all passing. That's 3 passed on. Rincewind, but the Discworld series is extremely popular. Number 6. This wizard was rather callous and had abandoned the spirit of his Hippocratic oath. But as fate would have it, he was injured in an accident and was never able to return to his former profession. He searched in vain for a cure. Say it again.
Doctor Strange.
Oh, Doctor Strange, yes, well done. Whew, yeah, Doctor Strange. Number 7. This dashing wizard was powerful and respected in the wizarding world of wizards on Earth. At university, he wrote his thesis on magical spells and charms. In an attempt to hide from 3 angry rugby players whose sister he had jilted, he opened a portal into the land of Ingary. One night he caught a falling star and bound himself to it, allowing the star to live with him.
Owl.
Absolutely right. Ow. I'm very impressed with you, Indonesia, because you could have held off answering, but you kept answering right to the end. Very well done, Indonesia. A round of applause to all teams, folks. Okay, well, we're going to do the prizes. So, Thailand, if you come out and we'll give you the prize. Let's give Thailand a round of applause. Thailand. And New Zealand, please. Who hasn't read that? You all read. And the USA, please. And Canada, please. And in third place for 2024, coming from the Republic of South Africa, the South African team, please, to the prize table. And in second place, the host country for 2024, Team Australia. Now And in their second ever appearance in a world final, with the score changing halfway through, very tense but a justifiably deserved win, I announce Team Indonesia as the 2024 World Champions! Coach, please. Coaches. Are they allowed to?
You get to keep that.
Cameras. And the trophy. Yeah, come on, winners. Big smile.
All of you, sorry. You've all got to move up.
This is the photo that go on the website. Go on. This is
All right. With that concludes Kids Lit Quiz for 2024 and our Kids Lit Quiz World Final. One last big congratulations to Team Indonesia. And I think you should keep your claps going for all of these teams, because as far as I'm concerned, every single one of them are winners. They've done exceptionally well. And we can't finish Kids Lit Quiz without one final enormous thank you, or two enormous thank yous. Kids Lit Quiz would not exist without Wayne, and it certainly wouldn't still be going. Wayne's done this for 33 years, and the job that Wayne and Kat do, it just wouldn't be here. So can I just have Yep. Thank you so much, Wayne
Thank you, Nicole.
and Pa. Thank you so much. And thank you to everyone for being a part of Kids Lit Quiz. Thank you.
And a big thank you to Nicole as well. A big round of applause for Nicole.
So, what are they going?
Oh, yes, of course.
We will represent the trophy tomorrow night at the international dinner, so we're going to make a very formal, fussy occasion to represent that trophy. It's gone now, the trophy's taken from their hands, gone to the engraver. They'll be back tomorrow.
And sorry, one quick thing for the dinner tomorrow night. If you are coming, it is a 6 o'clock start, so please be there by 6 o'clock. Thank you.